Welcome to PowerPoint Module 3. You can follow along in your book. We'll be completing the project together. Let's get started. So to begin with, we are going to open up a blank document in PowerPoint, and we want to apply the WISP theme. So if I click on More Themes, I see it because I've already used it once, but I may have to search for it if it's the first time using it. And there it is. So I click on it and I say create. Now, right now, this slide is in a different format than I want. So let me go up, Home tab slide area, and change it so that it's a title and content layout. I'm also going to delete a placeholder. So the placeholder up here at the top, I don't need, so to delete a placeholder, you click on the line of the placeholder so it turns solid, and then you just press your delete key. Now, I'm going to insert a chart. So this is where PowerPoint and Excel kind of start to overlap. So down here in my placeholder, I'm going to choose the Insert Chart button, and I want a pie chart, and I want the 3D pie. So once I've chosen that, I'll go ahead and click OK. It'll pop it in there, and then it will open up what looks like a miniature Excel spreadsheet. This is where I enter in my information. So I'll click up here in B1 and enter 5 sleep stages, and this information is going to change how my chart looks. And then I'll come over here in A2, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and REM, R-E-M. This chart is about sleep. And then I'll come over here and let's put in some information over here in this. So I want 50. I want 5, then 50, 5, 15, and 25. Now, once I do that, you see how my chart changes. So it reflects what's in this information. When I'm done, I can close out of this chart right there, and it goes away. So let's take a look at resizing my chart. So this works just like any other image or component that you've inserted into PowerPoint. There's 2 tabs for it, Design and Format tab. We are going to go to the Format, and then we are going to change the size. So we want 6.5 for the height and 10.5 for the width. That's going to move it off of my page. So I need to click on the chart itself, make sure I'm selecting the chart, and I can come up here to my Format tab and find my Align button. This is review from last time, and align it to the middle of the slide. I can also come back up and align it to the center. So middle and center will put it smack in the middle of my slide. Now let's look at how to change a chart style. So with the chart selected, if I click on the paintbrush, I can see some different styles. I want style 5, and you can scroll through these. So let's see, slide 5. And then also I can change the shape outline color. So if I click on my slideshow like this, then I can come up to my shape outline and find a different color to make it outlined in a different color. So we're going to do this dark burgundy, dark red right here. And you'll notice that will outline all of the pieces. And then maybe I want to change the weight so you can actually see that a little bit better. So I'll go to weight, 2.14, and that will make those lines thicker. Now let me come up to my 5 sleep stages. I'll select those. I want to make my font size bigger for that, and I want to change it to Rockwell. So I'll come up here, I'll change that to Rockwell, and I'll make it 32 points. And then I'll come down to my legend, I'll select it, I want it to be 18 points, and I also want it to be Rockwell. And I want it bolded. There we go, easier to read. So it's time to insert a slide. So I'll click on my new slide button, and I want the title and content layout again. And this time I'll come down here into my area, placeholder area, and click on Insert Table. Here I decide how many columns and how many rows I want. So I want 2 and 5, and I'll click OK. And it makes my table. Now I need to type the information in it. So this is sort of review from Word, but I click in the cell and type. I can use the Tab key to go to the next cell, and I can use the arrow keys to move around in them. Now it's time to apply a table style. So I click on my table, make sure it's selected. I get a tab specifically, actually I get 2 tabs specifically for my table. On my Table Tools Design tab, I see Table Styles. If I click on my More button, I have a ton, and I want Medium Style 1 Accent 4. Okay, let's look at adding borders to a table. So first of all, I need to click and make sure I've selected my entire table. And then on the Table Tools Design tab in the Table Styles area, there is an option to add all borders. When I click on that, it adds all the borders for me to my table. Let's look at adding an effect to a table. So once I have the table selected, if I click on the Table Tools Design tab, right underneath of the border button, there is an effects button. And this allows it, I can add shadows or reflections. So in this case, we are going to add a shadow, and we want perspective, upper left. Let's look at how to add a table row if you need it. So if you click in your table, so the last row, and come to the Layout tab, Table Tools Layout, then you have some rows and column options over here in this area. We want to insert a row below and add a row for 65 plus. Then let's look at how to insert a column. So with my cursor in the most right column, I click on the Table Tools Design tab and say Insert Right, and it will insert a column to the right of where my cursor was. So I'll type in some text. Now let's look at resizing my table. I'll select my table, and then on that Layout tab in this area is my table size. So I can go ahead and resize it to 4 and 6.5 for our width.